Hello and welcome. This is Alchemistexe, and this is the weekly update. I wanted to start out doing something a little different, showcasing the new unit as a mercenary in just a random map that I need to clear anyway, because that is the, whenever there's a new unit, I think that makes sense to do. So yeah, we have a new global exclusive unit this week, and her name is Lilith, and she's a Thunder Missile unit who's at the very least being marketed as a raid unit, and her kit is very Dark Phantom-esque. You will find a similar reactive that you get out of some of the Phantoms where they do percentage HP counter up to 5,000 damage, as well as rate HP attacks as well, capping out in a similar way. She's also got a missile charge up and some strong versus giant modifiers. This is interesting. I don't know how great she actually would be in raids for Thunder specifically, because Thunder has a very, very strong magic meta already, because both Nyx and Automa can lower magic res. Automa can already do the rate damage. They can benefit from like Elizabeth or Letitia, as I'm showcasing here. So I don't know. I feel like she could be a more expensive unit to get. We'll talk about that in the banner review. But in general, I don't know if anyone really needs her. Some people are definitely going to want her, that's for sure. But as far as need goes, I don't know about that. But yeah, so let's get into the content in earnest. Okay, so first things first, I want to not forget about the challenge board this time. There's one for Rainbow and Elemental Soul Shards. Pretty easy to do. They've been doing this every reset, just more and more challenge boards of different elemental themes. Easy to do it. And then next, I wanted to point out that I don't always do this because it's readable in the news, but I just want to make sure nobody forgets that the EX hard quests and also the global exclusive hard quests are all triple drops. So you can get 3 times a day for units like Dry and Zwei. And then you can get 9 a day for any global units that you have. So you do have to have the unit, which is kind of a bummer, because that gets transmuting more difficult. But if you do have them, this is a good week. And if you are sitting on 150 shards of any global units, like say maybe Emrys or Morrigan, or somebody that you're potentially interested in using, but you just haven't pulled them, definitely a good time to transmute them would be today, because you could get them, you could start doing the shard quest. It wouldn't be as good as when they're say brand new and they have that extra quest where you can get 100 shards total, but it's still much better than normal, and you can just get the ball rolling. We've also gotten a decent chunk of their shards for free as well. So I think, as in all honesty, this anniversary was kind of meh overall. I'm grateful for the limited unit, which for me ended up being Minerva shards. I'm definitely grateful for the memento selector, because I really wanted Fury's memento, and now that's taken care of. And then as far as what they've given for global shards, it's decent. I've heard it referred to as a garbage fire. I wouldn't go that far, but I'd be reluctant to give it praise at the same time. So yeah, so you definitely, if you want to get that ball rolling for Magna Historia shards, go for it, because you'll get 15 right off the bat, in addition to just the regular drops. So yeah, 9 a day is not bad. I'm getting some of my dudes ready for Gate 6 at this point, which is unexpected. Yeah, and then speaking of, that's kind of the only real new thing. So we got the new unit and her new memento out, and then the event that goes along with it is the first chapter of, I guess, Veritas Historia. Seems like it's just the continuation of Magna Historia. Not totally sure how it fits together yet, but this isn't really a lore channel, at least not at the moment. But yeah, it's pretty standard. You do the episodes and then you do the EX, and I don't know how many EXs there are yet, because I just started it earlier today. And this is how, if you have Lilith, how you would get her free gear that gives you her weapon art. Pretty standard stuff overall. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that's really important. Final anniversary quest. These have been interesting, I guess. I wish they were a little bit faster. I like the ones where just one Lambert wipe was enough to do it, get the prizes, but pretty minor complaint. If you're having a little trouble hitting the Lambert in this map, just bunch your units up together around him and use combo attacks, and eventually he'll go down. I never thought I would have to give tips for one of those. It's bizarre. And then all the global stuff is rerunning as well. So if you missed out on some stuff, like say the Halloween, this is a good time to do it. And then another important point is that once again, we have a week of Vision Clear Pro. So any VCRs you're gunning after, this is the time to get them. Because yeah, just being able to get like minimum of 70% combined with all the robots that we've gotten, you should be sitting on a much larger collection of VCRs than you would have had before. So that's another thing that I'm always happy whenever they do that. And then even more for Greed and Gluttony, which I happen to be like going after Julia's VCR because I've been forgetting to get that for kind of a while now. So yeah, other than that, not a whole lot this week. It's kind of a like, let's take a breather after just an onslaught of all these events and like gem drains. Like it's honestly, I'll go over it more in the banners, but like I'm really not psyched about a new global unit after like the thing I was looking forward to most happened, and then right after that, I got to see the opportunity cost of that in a really good POTK unit, and then right after that, they're like, hey, here's a global unit. It's like, really, all right. I don't think you ordered that very well, but oh well. I guess it's good to have like units you feel comfortable skipping, because getting all of them is a fool's errand. So in the long run, it might actually be better. And who knows, you might end up picking up those kinds of units when you least expect to. So yeah, so with that is it for the content for the week. And now we'll move on to the banners. Okay, so first things first, the discount tickets expire this week, so make sure that you use them if you have any remaining. And then, first off, there is a once a day free, like 5 random global shards. So, nothing too amazing, but I'll always take free shards where I can get them. So yeah, let's just go ahead and knock that out right now. We'll see what we get. I'm actually sitting pretty well as far as most global units go that I use. But, I'll definitely take more. Especially Siegfried, because once he gets gate 6, I think I'm going to want that. Oh, why are we still watching this? So yeah, there we go. I don't know if these repeat at all. I don't know if I've ever seen one of these either for Genesis or for Global repeat. So it almost seems like it's 5 different ones. If anyone else knows that, feel free to let me know. I know it's not important. I'm just curious. But yeah, I got an Emerson there, so that's always fun. So yeah, next up, we'll go over the paid banners. First up, there is the one for global units, and then the other one is for global mementos. They're pretty common as far as the global type paid banners. There is, I guess it's nice because you do get all 5 stars, but it's all normal pool aside from global. So, it's slightly better, I guess. One less probability hurdle, I guess. But, once you have enough units, the distinction isn't that different. I don't know. But, I'd say like the less global units you have, or conversely the less mementos you have, the better, the more value is in it for you. If you, because otherwise it's pretty random. Like, if I don't want to do this because like if I did it and I got Xion, like that would suck. That'd be a waste of $30 for me, because I already have enough. I have all of Xion's gates maxed, and then I have enough for his gate 6 and then some. So that would be getting another 100 if he was the guarantee. That would just be not so great. And then same thing with the mementos, in that it's a pretty big pool. So if you're just like, you really like using global units and you don't have many, if any, of their mementos, then, it could be worth your while. But if you want, the more specific your desires are, the less desirable this is going to be. As nice as getting a free relief is, especially if it's for something good. Because, like, I did one of these one time, and I got Blair's memento, which did not make me happy, but the Celestine relief ended up being handy. It was, like, the one I needed to get Adelaide's memento max limit break, and that was, like, a huge game changer. So, reliefs are always good. After that is one of those kind of, like, bait / newbie friendly banners. Every step is 333. It's like celebration-y. If you're a veteran, don't celebrate and don't do this banner though, because if you're new, it's a cheap option to help you get things that you might need, like good normal pool 5 stars and 5-star mementos. But once you have almost everything, then there's not much value here, because you can just farm the units and slowly snipe the normal pool mementos that we get from selectors. I'm not missing too many right now. The only ones that I'm missing are ones I don't totally care for, because I've been able to use selectors to get the ones that I want. So I don't see a lot of value in this unless you're new. In that case, go crazy. And then after that is a garbage banner. We know why these are garbage. And if you want to understand why, consider my Nero video. Oh, okay. That was just random news thing popping up. We're not a politics channel, so let's get back to the banner. Yeah, so this banner has no guarantees. And then when I did the 5 steps for Nero, like that one, it did have guaranteed shards, but it was kind of a similar probability of actually pulling the unit. So this is that without the guaranteed shards, meaning no eventual transmutation. So it doesn't make sense to do this. You could literally spend the amount that I spent on Nero and except walk away with like nothing. So never do that. I don't care if you're the Leviathan of whales. Like, there are better ways to spend your gems than doing that. You'd be better off just buying the bundle and then getting the unit via transmute. Yeah, so that's my anti 3-step rant for the week. I don't know why. I feel like eventually I should not need to do those anymore, but I always worry about those new players that see that and like, oh, doubled rates, that sounds great. It's not great. So below that, luckily, is a decent banner. These are also fairly familiar if you've been around for a few weeks. The most recent one was the Veda style. Exact same format, same like odds of like 2.5 per featured unit. Not amazing odds, in the pool of global units is pretty big. But what you do get are those coins, and those coins are pretty great. I'm like in gem saving mode, so I think I'm going to use my discount ticket on this. 1 step only, take the 200, figure out which global unit I need the shards for most, which probably Emerus, but maybe Ira as well. I don't know. But those coins are valuable enough, especially for global units. They're a little bit cheaper on the coin expenditures than, like, say, Genesis units, so that's something to think about if you like global units. There's no guarantees on the banner itself, so if you happen to get lucky, cool, but the coins are valuable by themselves. And then after that, we have a continuation of the like community choice thing. I don't know. I think it's kind of stupid the way that they set this up. Like, one, Torito, don't even get me started on that. The other units are decent, especially the Veda ones. No bias there. But to this selector, though, it's just insanity to me. Like, if you're either saved up enough or whale enough to afford 75k gems to get a selector, there's just more gem efficient ways to get those units. Like Soul Dry, and I think all of these units have appeared in the Louise shop, for example. It's just, I don't know. Like, you could, if you really needed shards of some specific units that you have, and they're in the the anniversary celebration shop, you could take these, convert them into the anniversary coins. But I don't know, it seems like if you're gonna go that route, you probably would have gotten a decent chunk of coins from like different, like either paid banners if you're a spender. I don't know, it seems like a weirdly indirect and inefficient means, and it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Then next up is a banner that, does make sense to me. It's 9-step for the new units memento, and then Morrigan's is there as well. Which is good, smaller pool of featured is a little bit nicer, and it's less fractured. Of course, you do have to pull it in the first place. A lot of people would probably have to go all the way to the selector if they wanted it for this unit. Not totally sure I recommend that. If you are really about a Thunder Missile unit with some Dark Phantom characteristics, I guess. I feel like a lot of people are going to want to skip her just because we're all kind of fatigued after this onslaught of new units. And then there's 2 garbage banners for the God Killers that, already explained why those suck. And then their mementos are back as well. Decent way to get their mementos. Slightly less expensive than a 9-step. And yeah, everything else is an older banner. So yeah, bottom line is if you, for whatever reason, no questions asked here, say you want the new unit, and you don't, I'd say that the 2.5, like, try that, get those coins, because you're going to want those coins to buy her shards anyway. If you're going to be the type to spend, I'd just buy the shards from the shop. I know it's not like as fun, but I ended up doing that for Emrys, skipped out on some paid skipped out on a few paid banners, from then until now, because of it. But to me, it was worth it, because Emrys is a total boss, and buying that many shards worth of free gems would have been like way more expensive. Like, you're not getting 8,000 free gems worth, for $35. Like, not even close. And then you have another 25 shards taken care of from using the unit as a mercenary. So then you only need the Louis shop to pop 25, which is really easy to do. You could possibly even do that without spending any gems on refreshes. And if you're free to play and you have a ton of gems for some reason and you want the unit, you could do the same thing, except you'd have to provide the 100 shards via gem refreshes, and you probably would have to spend thousands of gems on it. But you would so easily spend, even like assume like a pretty unideal number of refreshes every day in the shop, you could easily get the unit for way, way cheaper than what it would have cost just like popping that 3-step unlimited banner until you get them. Like, no contest. So I know it's not like the most fun thing, but the Louis shop should be valued as a great source of, sometimes acquiring units and often helping them get capped out for gates. So yeah, that's it for the week. Not a ton going on. So like, rest up, finish up the Xeno Tower, get ready for the next like crazy thing that happens, because I'm sure holiday season will be, fun and aggravating at the same time. So alright everyone, I will see you guys next time.